in this place tonight. The second you walk by, I hit you with sexy eyes. You look through me as if I wasn't right. Oh no, you didn't just walk on through. It's time.
Greetings all, welcome to Tuesday. We got home from our farmers market stuff yesterday and I had yard work to do, so I didn't get anything done out here in the shop. Now my last vlog I mentioned that the prop I was going to be working on next was going to be my stocks. That project is going to be on hold for a day, maybe two, or I'll get it started later in the week. Reason being is I've had over the past, well actually since about May, been collecting various items I wanted to use in the haunt. They've just been sitting on my workbench in the house. I haven't done anything with them because I haven't had the parts to work on them. Well, about 2 weeks ago, I went through eBay and a couple other sites and started ordering parts for those projects. Now these projects I have some computer power supplies I need to convert over to use as power supplies in the haunt. If you remember right, like this one here, back in May I went to a yard sale and picked up a bunch of these disco lights, professional grade disco lights and stuff. And I started last week going through them, maintaining them, and getting them cleaned up and oiled, making sure they were working right. Some of them needed parts. Some of them, like this one here, needed lots of work. As you'll see, there's no mechanics on the inside. It's hot. It's just the shell. And I'm actually going to get this thing animated so we have color lights coming out of it. Those were some of the parts that came in. Was for this disco light and a couple of other projects. Now those projects I'm saving for doing in the evenings. After being out here in the heat and everything all day working on the bigger props, I usually go in the house, I get on the computer, do some editing or YouTubing or get into chat or what have you. I figure these projects that I've got sitting downstairs would be good nighttime props, projects I can work on while I'm in chat. It gives me something to do other than just sitting there staring at the computer screen. Not that I don't mind visiting. I like the visiting, but I get restless and bored. I gotta have my hands moving. Problem is with some, like with this one here, I went and bought LEDs, and I'm going to put one LED behind each one of the color lenses on the inside. I need to make some brackets to hold the LEDs. That's shop stuff. I gotta get the brackets made out here. Once the brackets are made out here and mounted inside the ball, then it goes back in the house and I can work on the LEDs and other things in the house in the evenings. So I'm going to take the day and get the brackets and stuff made for that disco light. The other thing too I ordered was motors. Reindeer motors, and we got home yesterday and we found a nice little box sitting on the front porch, had my motors in it, which means Johnny, aka my well from hell that I finished up last week, I can get him totally finished now. I need to bring him back in, get the motor installed, and see if the mechanism is going to work. So I'm going to spend my day doing that today as well. Once I can get the, try the motor out, see if it's going to work, and then get the brackets and stuff, what I need to do out here in the shop with that done, then I'll get started doing the stocks. Now, we had several questions with my vlog. I was talking reindeer motors and stuff. People were asking where I was getting them from. And I figure, well, I'll cover motors just a little bit. Motors, there are basically three styles of motors that most haunters use to animate the props. The first one is, this is an old one, it's a reindeer motor, that you see to animate those light up deers you see at Christmas. That's probably one of the most common ones used. The next one, you notice there's a blank spot right here, is a vent motor. I don't have any vent motors to show you. I guess I should qualify too. The strength and speed on the reindeer motors versus the vent motors, they're pretty much the same. The main difference between the two is on the reindeer motors, as the pivot bar goes around, if it meets any resistance, it will reverse and go back the other way. On the vent motors, they just go in one direction. They will not reverse, and they'll tear themselves apart if they hit a resistance. The third class of motor that we use, which is usually a little stronger, a lot stronger than the vent and the reindeer motors, is the old standby windshield wiper motor. You can get these off of Monster Guts and Fright Props, what have you. They run on low voltage, 12 volt is a standard speed, which is fairly quick speed, or you can reduce it down to about 3 volts, which will make it go a lot slower. Now, the questions I had on my vlog was, where was I getting my reindeer motors? Well, if you take this thing apart, crack it open, what you're going to find inside is this. That's the guts to a reindeer motor. Now, there's a couple of different places on eBay you can go and get these. And they come in different sizes, different torques, different speeds. This one here is 5 RPM, which means the shaft, once you attach it on here, will go around 5 times in a minute. You can get them up to 30 or 40 revolutions per minute on here. You can get them in 12 volts, you can get them in 110, you can get them in 220. You know, different sizes, different speeds. Some of them, the shaft on them are different and what have you. But anyway, that's what the actual motor inside the reindeer motor looks like. And I ordered several different sizes and speeds of these, and that's what I'm going to be using, hopefully, to animate Johnny in the well. If it doesn't work, then Johnny's going to be a static prop. I could upgrade it and use a windshield wiper motor into it, but I think that'd be just way too quick and way too much torque. I think I'd end up tearing Johnny apart. So I'm either going to make this work or get this to work, or Johnny's going to be a static prop. But that's what I'm going to be working on today. That also basically covers the 3 type of motors. I didn't really go into overly much detail, so if there's some questions, feel free to ask. But anyway, that's what we're going to be working on today. I need to get the brackets for that light made, and I need to get the motor into Johnny in the well. And Johnny's going to be my first project. I want to get that prop totally done. It's out of the way before I start working on the ball. By the time you have seen this, you also will have noticed that I have posted an extra vlog this week. I'm going to be doing a nighttime look at Johnny at night with color lights on, his eyes working, and everything else. I'm even going to hook up the Iron Maiden I made too, and we'll do a nighttime look at those, hopefully with the motor working. So we'll be uploading that a little bit later as well. Now, one other thing too, I know I'm kind of jumping all over the place, and I apologize. On these nighttime projects I'm going to be working on, this light, the computer power supplies, I am not going to do separate vlogs for these. I'll probably just be including footage from time to time over the next couple of weeks as to my progress on them and what have you, and we'll include them in with my main props I'm working on out here in the shop. So if you guys see little snippets on things and you want more information, let me know, and I'll see what I can do about getting you what you need. With that, let's get the week started. Okay, people, just finished up the well. Got the motor in, it works. I'll give you a glimpse of it here in a second. And I wanted to give a shout out to Northrad. Actually, I'm not going to say anything about the Barney episode and where your hand was in your vlog. But yeah, I believe it was you that posted a comment asking if a reindeer motor would be strong enough to do what I wanted it to do. Answer to that, you're right. No, it's not strong enough. I went through, spent most of the morning getting the wiring figured out, getting the motor installed, got it done, had the linkage done, plugged it in, and the linkage was up at the top, motor turned on, it went vroom to the bottom and stayed there, and all the motor did was whine. It was not strong enough to bring it all the way back around again. So I ended up taking it out and ended up putting in, since I didn't have a vent motor, put in a a windshield wiper motor and have it hooked up for 5 watt instead of the normal 12 watt. 12 watt makes it run fast, 5 watt makes it run a bit slower. The added result is that there, she is now animated. And I figure at night, fog coming out of that thing and that guy doing that ought to be real interesting. So that prop is now 100% finished. Now, I mentioned in the last segment, which I know was a pain in the ass because it was long. Okay, welcome to Thursday. I know I haven't been filming very much. Been working on that there all week long. It's taken me a lot longer than I thought it would to do it. Basically what I did is I went down and got some aluminum flat stock, 1/4 inch, so about half that thick. Went through, got my holes drilled in each little piece, and then bent them into the shape I want. The small hole here is what is attached to the globe itself. The big hole is where the LED will be mounted to. It'll come up through the bottom of it. Then I had to take each one of those little fittings, and I did that. There's 73 of them in there all together, so 73 LEDs. And when the LEDs are mounted in between here and the lens, it will point to the lens and cast light out the lens. Next step on this little project, I'm in the process of assembling the LEDs with the resistors and their leads. Right now all the LEDs are in this state. Actually, well, not all of them. I got started on the soldering the other night, and I have to attach a resistor to a few of them, and then the wire leads and stuff. That is something I'll be doing in the evenings, just so I have something to do, so I'm not sitting in front of the TV going nuts or screwing around on the computer going nuts. So for right now, we're out here in the shop, this project is done. It's going to be going in the house, and I'll give you guys periodic updates to the project. I'm not going to, show you step by step, weekly, I might give you, hey, I've gotten this far done or something. But anyway, with that done and out of the way, I'm calling it prep work. It's finished. My next step, if you watched my vlog last week, you noticed I mentioned I was going to be working on the stocks this week. It's Thursday. It's a little bit after 4. I am going to get set up, and I'm actually going to get started on the stocks. I'm not going to make it very far today, though, on it. I can at least get a basic start. Now, what I plan on doing, I got some planking right there. I'm going to use that for doing my base and trim for this. As you can tell, it's a piece of 2-inch blue foam board. This is going to be my core for my stocks, and I'm going to take that wood, cut it down to the thickness I need. I'm going to do a frame all the way around it, and then cut pieces of that out to fill in over the top. So you won't even see this, but this will give things a little bit more rigidity, or however you pronounce it. It was a lot cheaper than doing it this way. Is a lot cheaper than buying a bunch of plywood and stacking it up to get my thickness. It also will make the stocks a hell of a lot lighter, because if I did that much plywood, the thing would weigh a ton. Hey guys, I've been farting around for a couple of hours, wanted to show you what I've gotten on the stocks. Yes, I am actually working on the stocks. Getting the upper part done, and let's see, zoom it out. Yeah, it's zoomed out. Can't see all that much. I got the frame done, and I got the first side done on here. I'll flip it over so you can see the inside. There's my frame going around like I said I was going to do, and I got the styrofoam in the middle. I gotta get my next piece on here and then give it a sanding around the edges and stuff. It's kind of what I'm working on now. Then once this is done, I'm going to set this off to the side to dry because there is some wet glue with this. And I need to start going over that and building the base for this. You know, once I get this is done and the base is done and, you know, the basics are done, I can come back through here and start doing detail work and stuff. And that's all going to be something that we'll be doing next week. Okay, guys, it's going on about 9:30 at night. I did a push today. I showed you the disc ball, and then I got that done, and I got the basics on the stocks done. I still got a lot of detail work, which will start next week. I go out of town tomorrow, so this is going to be it for this week. I've got to add some diagonal support down at the bottom. I've got to anchor the thing into here yet. It's just sitting in there loose. I've still got to cut my holes out for the arms and the head to stick through. And I'm thinking about doing some detailing work up on the corners as well to kind of change the look of it. So, and then I got tons of other stuff to do to it. But there's your beginning start of the stocks build. Be more to come next week. I'm going to go ahead and let you go. I will see you later, and stay spooky out there.